Hello, my name is Kurt, and today I will be talking about how to be an alchemist, or rather, how to be a proper alchemist. Now, I was inspired to make this video because for a long time already, I've been seeing a lot of New Agers, pseudo-spiritual people, hippies, etc., claim that they are alchemists, or that they are using alchemy, or that they practice alchemy. And I find it infuriating. And ancient alchemists would find it infuriating too if they knew what the hell was going on nowadays. Nowadays, alchemy has become this fancy label. You know, a random New Ager wraps a silver wire around a rock or a crystal and says it's alchemically prepared, it's alchemy, it's this and that. And people fall for that. It's become a catchphrase. It's become a marketing term. You know, oh yes, I'm an alchemist because I do all these various different techniques, whatever. Yes, an alchemist does transmute energies and works with energies and works on a physical thing, but to wrap a damn silver wire around a crystal isn't an alchemist. That is, call it arts and crafts, call it spiritual healing, call it crystal crafting, call it whatever the hell you want, magical crystal trinkets, but don't call it alchemy, because that's not what it is. And this is how the marketing works. You know, people place alchemy on every damn thing. Alchemically prepared pendant, and then they up the price. A stupid little silver wire wrapped around a rock and they charge $70 for it, when I could do it myself for fucking $5. You know what I mean? And this is what pisses me off, because it's tainting the reputation of alchemists. Now, ancient Egyptians and people in the ancient days have used alchemy for a very long time and for various different purposes. Alchemy has been considered ancient chemistry. That's where chemistry kind of originated. The alchemist sought to perfect both the physical body and the spiritual body by working with various plants, by working with various metals, breaking them down, refining them, purifying them over and over again until they become as pure and potent as they could possibly become. And yes, I do consider witches and warlocks and, you know, occultists back in the day, or even today, that work sort of with plants and they know what they're doing. I do consider them alchemists to a certain degree. Witches back in the day, in their huts, they would have cauldrons, they would work with herbs, they would work with various different principles. They knew that they had to take a little bit of this herb, a little bit of that herb, throw it into a boiling kettle, mix it for this long, on this specific day, on this specific hour, to create the most maximum potency love potion, or poison, or whatever the hell they were making. I do consider that alchemy, because they were working with the planetary hours, they were working with the times, they were working with herbs, they were breaking them down, and they were making the herbs kind of work to their own will. Now, like I said, I do not consider any person that works with herbs to be an alchemist. I would call him an herbalist. An alchemist, like I said, is one who has such a strong connection with plants and has worked and purified not only the plants but himself. You know, the alchemist could create such potent cures or poisons. They break down a plant over and over and over and purify and transmute it over and over again until it becomes such a potent medicine or poison that one drop could kill a group of people if administered properly. Or one drop could heal 2 or 3 people. One drop of the alchemically prepared solution. That is what I consider alchemy, because the alchemist perfected the potion or the elixir or whatever was being prepared by working with the planetary hours, the planetary days. Everything worked in accordance to his will and to his power, and it was channeled into that. And not only is it a physically purified and potent thing, it's been infused spiritually as much as possible. Now that I got all that out of the way, I'm going to teach you guys how to be a proper, true alchemist in the modern day. You don't need a lot of money. You could do this on a budget. Like I said, witches did it in their huts freaking centuries ago. But true alchemy now is sort of easier because of the technological progress we have made. We have so many tools to our advantage that the alchemists didn't have back then. So if we take the alchemical principles and apply it into modern day technology and then the tools we have on hand, we could have such an easier time. We don't have to sit there and, use bellows and, push air into the damn fire to heat it up over and over again. No. We have various different other tools now, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do it on a budget. You don't need a lot of money. You could do this in the comfort of your own home. You don't even have to do it outside. You could do it in your basement. You don't need anything. So, first things first is you're going to need a proper book. There's a book that I really enjoy by, I forgot what his name was. It's like the Spagyrical preparation of medicinal plants, and it goes something like that. Manfred Junius, I believe. I'll put it in the description, but I don't have that book with me. Unfortunately, I misplaced it, but it had everything. It had the planetary hours, it had the planetary days, it had sample alchemical procedures you could do, it had everything you could possibly need to do alchemy. Now, another book that I kind of recommend if you're just getting started, although I do consider this book far more inferior than the other book I named, because it gives a general gist of alchemy and it gives the basic stuff, but it doesn't go as in depth as the Manfred Junius book. Like I said, I forgot his name, but he goes so much in depth. Like, it's very advanced. Not many people could understand what goes on in that book. It's very confusing. Like, this book that I'm going to show you right now is something that pretty much anybody could get a grasp on. But the other book is kind of for, like, the true alchemist, because it had some crazy, complex things and terms and everything used in that. So, pick up Real Alchemy, a primer of Practical Alchemy by Robert Allen Bartlett. You could probably get this on Amazon or your bookshop or whatever. It's a really good book. It's not too long. It's very concise. It's very uncomplicated. Anybody could pretty much pick it up and understand it when you're beginning alchemy. So check this book out. I recommend it, but I recommend the other one way more. Now, you read the book, you get all the basic information. I am not going to list or say how to perform alchemy properly, because that would take me freaking centuries of just making videos to show you guys just the basics of it, because it's such a complex thing. Like I said, I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I'm still, like, kind of lost in certain aspects of it or whatever. It requires years of dedication. There's certain procedures that require daily practice. Like, you have to put, like, a drop or two of the salts or the sulfur onto the coagulating substance in the jar, and you're supposed to keep it at exactly 75 degrees or 80 degrees, and you can't let that degrees drop, because even if it drops in temperature like 1 or 2 degrees, 3 degrees, like, the whole thing's screwed up already, and you have to start all the way from the beginning. So imagine you're doing something and you're a year into it of daily effort, and then you screw up once and you're screwed. You gotta do it all the way from the beginning. But this is what the true alchemist is: perseverance. That's part of the thing that develops the character and the physical and the spiritual growth of the individual. And also the mastery of the plant kingdom and the mineral kingdom and the animal kingdom. There's so many things you could do. So next things that I want to talk about is you're going to have to pick yourself up a retort. Now, I don't know if this is picking up on camera, but it's basically the alchemist tool, one of the alchemist tools. Now, there's some sediment here because I've been using it extensively, but you got to get one of these. because distillation is very important in alchemical processes. When you read the book, you'll figure this out. Now, you're probably thinking, Kurt, how the hell do I use this? How the hell do I heat this thing up? What can I do? Like, I don't have access to a campfire, or I can't just sit there over a campfire and heat this thing up. Get an electrical hot plate. Get an electrical hot stove. The thing that you use to prepare meals, like pretty much, you can get it on Amazon or eBay for like 10 or 15 bucks. Easy. And it goes to very high temperatures, it goes to very low temperatures, it's perfect. You get a chemist's clamp. You could get this at at any chemist shop around you, any lab supply shop, or you could probably get it online. I'm not sure. I got it at my local lab supply shop. It was still pretty hard to get one because not many people kind of use these nowadays, but it's still used. So the lab shop could probably order it for you if you request them to. So yeah, anyway, you get one of these. You get a chemist's clamp, or a lab clamp as they call it. It's like this blue type of thing. It has a blue base and it has this metal thing, and it has clamps that pretty much holds the vessel over the flame. So you don't have to hold it, you know. So you get that. You clamp it over the hot plate. You take a sand bath. You take a random useless pot or pan and fill it with sand, or you could even do a water bath. You could fill it with water, and then you place, because the thing is, this glass is very fragile. I think it's made out of borosilicate glass, but sometimes these are, like, it gets iffy. You can't heat it too hot because the glass will melt and it will like deform and all that stuff, and you don't want that happening in the middle of an alchemical experiment. So you want to put it over a sand bath or put it over a water bath and heat the water. So you put the pan or old, pot or whatever onto the hot plate with the water and the sand, and you turn the heat on, and you put this resting into the water, into the sand, and you let it heat up, and that'll heat this vessel up, and it'll start boiling and everything, and it'll distill. Distillation works simply as the procedure of any distillation works. You make a cup of tea. You know how the tea kettle boils and the fumes evaporate? Well, here you have a little stopper here. I forgot to get it for this video, but like I said, you get a little stopper here, and that prevents pretty much the evaporating fluids to evaporate off. So they go this way, and as they go this way, you're gonna need a bucket of ice or something like that, and you're gonna have to put it in such a way that it cools this vessel, so it allows the evaporation to become a distillate, to become a liquid again. And you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna need some kind of bottle or whatever that you could like just hook into the nozzle. Like here, I'll give you an example. Like, you're gonna need obviously a way smaller bottle or something. You like pretty much put it in there, and this vessel that you're using has to be cooled with ice, and then as this distills, it'll hit the cool spot, and it'll hit the cooled vessel, and it'll become a liquid. That is the basic procedure of distillation. That is the very basic procedure of alchemy. That is one of the first things you will learn as an alchemist. Once you get past that stage, you'll be learning various things about plants, planetary hours, like, let's say, chamomile or chamomile, however you pronounce it, is ruled by the sun. So you would do that operation on Sunday at the planetary hour of the sun. Now there's a whole chart, probably online, or I use books that lay out the alchemical and planetary hours that you should perform these things. And once everything is you only have a short time frame to work with this. This is why alchemy is tricky too, because you only have like an hour or two, give or take, to kind of complete a whole procedure. Because after 2 or 3 hours, no, it's 1 or 2 hours, the planetary hours change. It goes from the planetary hour of the sun to the planetary hour of the moon and stuff like that. But that's a different aspect of it. But yes, you will find out which plants work with the sun, which ones fall under Mars, the moon, Venus, etc. Different things you could do with them. Now me, what I have done is taken alchemy to a completely different level. I have distilled my own blood. I put it into that retort. I distilled it over and over again, 10 times, over and over and over again, until it achieved maximum purity and maximum power. Like, if you held a vial of this distilled blood, like, you wouldn't even be able to hold it, because it's irradiating so much goddamn energy that's ridiculous, because it's life force. It's, like I said, it's blood. So what I did is I distilled my blood over and over again 10 times, and then I took the distilled blood and then I added it into one of my herbal preparations, and this kind of fuses my energy with the plant's energy, and we work as allies. We are bound. I am bound with so many plant spirits. I have so many allies on my side. Nothing can fuck with me anymore. I have freaking plants ruled by the sun. I have plants ruled by Venus. I'm attracting love. I'm attracting protection. Everything. I'm set because I've did these works. I've established connections with the plants, and I went all the way. This is what many pseudo-spiritualists and occultists lack. They lack testicular fortitude. They don't go all the way. They're scared. They're like, I don't want to cut myself, that hurts. So I would never distill my blood because people will think I'm crazy. I'll never distill my semen because people will think I'm crazy. Well, guess what? Don't even fucking bother. Do not even bother embarking on this path if you're not willing to do that. You either go all in or you don't go in at all. Once you start the spiritual path, there is no turning back. You're stuck in this for this lifetime. And if you want to progress, you're going to have to get deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're going to have to get some testicular fortitude. A lot of modern day occultists or Wiccans or all these people, they won't even do like basic stuff. Like, they won't practice necromancy. They won't practice this. They won't practice that. That's limiting the individual. You're limiting yourself. You're not going to progress if you stay in one freaking, like, one particular area of thought. You have to expand. Otherwise, you'll only get half truth here, half truth there, whatever, and you'll be stuck. You'll be considered. That's a thing. Another thing. I don't like labels. I don't like even labeling myself as anything. Because it's restricting. Once you say I'm a magician, you're a magician. Once you say you're a Wiccan, you're a Wiccan. Like, you could call yourself a wizard, magician, Wiccan, alchemist, whatever, all that together, but it's still putting labels on yourself, and it's still restricting yourself. You are who you are. You are a person who works with these things. There is no label. Once you have no label, you are not bound by anything. You can be whatever the hell you want, whenever you want. The second you consider yourself a Wiccan, you will stay in Wicca, because that's a restriction. You'll be like, oh, I can't do that because I'm a Wiccan. Threefold law. Or, oh, I'm a Christian. I can't do that because I'm a Christian. Blah, blah, blah. Restrictions. I am nothing. I am me. I do as I will. That's it. And that's what the alchemist requires. Complete and utter dedication. Like I said, this is not a practice for any freaking New Ager that's all hippy-happy, jumping around all the time and talking crystal nonsense. This requires not random bullshit of yapping and spreading random crap around and saying oh yes, peace and love. You must feel the love inside yourself and be happy and release your stress and blah blah blah. And meditate and do this. No, it's not for people like that. Those people, they're on their own path. I respect them. But they're going to be stuck in that. And you can say, oh, they're helping other people, they're helping other people. Yes, but what is that going to lead you to? On your deathbed, you are alone. All those people that you helped, yeah, they'll be around you, but you die alone. And this is what I'm talking about. Progress as an individual, spiritual progress as an individual, as an alchemist, as whatever the hell you want to be. You must progress. And yes, along the journey you could help other people out, but do not make that your main focus. Because like I said, I see a lot of weakness in these New Agers. I see them spreading a lot of love and light and whatever. You know how easily I can manipulate those people? I can destroy their entire lives with a snap of my goddamn finger. Because I am progressed to such a point. I have dabbled in so many goddamn things that their minds cannot comprehend even. They have the basic New Age knowledge of maybe chakras and this and that, whatever. But they do not understand the true deep essence of occult. They never went to cemeteries and fucking dug up bones and did rituals and did all that stuff or whatever because they are fearful. They have, like, I see weakness in them. Like I said, they're spreading this love and all this stuff or whatever. But that's because they feel an insufficient supply themselves. So they're spreading all this love in hopes that other people will say, oh, you're such a good person. Oh, you're such a happy individual. Oh, you're such a great whatever. It's all ego stroking. Like I said, their hands would tremble at the slightest ritualistic act of an occultist. Tell them to do something in an Aleister Crowley book. They'll never do it. They'll say, oh yeah, you know, the person was who he was, whatever. Anyway, I don't want to get to that, but I'm just saying that I see a lack of dedication. And if you want to truly progress, if you want to get the hell out of this trap, if you want to transcend, you're going to have to make sacrifices, and you're going to have to go all the way. It might require losing a lot of morality, a lot of freaking even sanity even, or whatever, but like I said, it doesn't matter because it's all about the alchemical transformation of the individual to become the best person you could possibly be, because it's your soul, it's your essence, it's your higher power, whatever, that is the only thing that matters. Like I said, once you're gone, you're gone. No matter how many people you helped on this physical plane, it's not going to do you jack shit. Yes, you'll get some extra energy from them because they'll be worshipping you, whatever, after your death or whatever, but it's not enough. It's not enough to escape this cycle. It really isn't. You have to master yourself because you will be the one piloting this vessel, this soul, whatever the hell you want to call it, after everything's said and done. So yes, I'll give you an example of what an alchemical elixir kind of looks like. Now this is a plant called Lady Slipper. I have used the sulfur, I have used the salts, I have used the mercury aspects of it, and I have combined it all in the planetary hours, and I have added my distilled blood and all that stuff. You could do many different things. Distill your own semen, distill your own urine, make it as personal as possible. I blend many things from witchcraft and various different occult teachings into my alchemical practice, and then I fuse that, and then I put it into my alchemical elixir, and it works flawlessly. There's an alchemical elixir I made out of echinacea. Anytime I'm sick, I take it. I'm not sick the next day afterwards. I gave it to people. Sometimes I see people, whether they're homeless or whether they're sick, just random people on the street, I see them sneezing or whatever, I carry it around with me sometimes. I'm here, take this. They're like, what is it? They think I'm a weirdo or whatever. And I get them to trust me, whatever. Some of these people have nothing to lose, you know. They feel sick, they have no medical care, so I give it to them, boom. Next day, I walk past them, whatever, they're like, hey, holy shit, like, what was that stuff? Like, I feel so much better, I feel healthy, I feel good again, like, I feel cured, you know. And I just tell him it is what it is, you know. And this stuff does work. It really does work. There's certain poisons, like I'm not going to get into that, but there's certain poisons that I prepare that are very lethal. Like I said, I could freaking put anybody that I want to death with a single drop of a mysterious fluid that has no scent, no taste, no nothing. Will probably not even be found in any autopsies or anything. This is the way of the occultist. This is the way of the alchemist, to both heal and destroy, to transcend and to transmute. Solve coagula. That's what it is. And like I said, get the books, get the necessary tools, work on a spiritual foundation too. Like I said, while working with alchemy, you will naturally, instinctively tune into your spiritual side, and it will become a spiritual progression. It's impossible not to evolve as an alchemist, because even if you take all the spiritual stuff and all the energies, and even if you don't do things on the planetary hours and the planetary days and all that stuff, you skip that completely. You're still breaking down that herb. You are still focusing so intently on it over and over again. You're doing calcinations. You're doing all this stuff. You're incinerating the herb over and over again until it's a white. You're incinerating the ashes of the herb over and over again until it's a pure white substance, and then you're purifying that, and then there's so much work that goes into it that even if you take all the energetic aspects of it, you're dedicating so much time and so much patience, so much energy into that it will do its own work pretty much, as long as you participate, and it will transform you as well. You will become as pure as the elixirs that you make, and then you could take those elixirs and they will purify you even more. It's a complete combination of both the physical and the spiritual. You do all this stuff to prepare this elixir, and you have results. It's not just some hippie, new age spiritual stuff that you have no sort of physical evidence for. No, I have the medicines, I have the things. I take 3-4 drops and I'm cured, and so is everybody else that I give it to. That is physical evidence. That is proof. You know, whereas all these other spiritual techniques, you can meditate for years. Yeah, you'll become a very calm person and all this stuff. You will progress and all this stuff, but like I said, there's more. There's a transmutation that has to arise. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry if this video is sort of a rant, but this has been infuriating me for a while, so I decided to make a video on how to be a true alchemist like the ancients, because the ancients didn't fuck around, you know. They dug up bones, they ground them up into powders, and they distilled it, and they drank that, and they freaking heated their elixirs, or kept their elixirs heated, because they didn't have a constant campfire going or whatever. They took horse manure and they shoved the elixir in there and they would keep it warm. They used anything to their advantage, you know. And you can too. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to have a lot of anything. You just need dedication, you need knowledge, and you need time. But you need dedication. First and foremost, you need dedication. Everything else will fall into place. And you will see true results. Like I said, you will see physical manifestations of your work. And you could take those elixirs and it'll fuse both you and the plant. And you will develop so many relationships with plant allies. Like I said, I have so many connections with plants right now that I could just think of it. I could think of lavender. I could think of whatever herb that I am connected with, and I could dream of it, or I could feel its effects without even having it anywhere near me. I could use its power to my advantage. Let's say I'm out on a date. I communicate with the plant spirit of lavender to help me, since that is a plant ruled by the forces of love, and it'll increase my attraction. It'll increase that energy that I radiate, and it'll attract that female to me. You know what I mean? This is the potential that it could progress through. And like I said, the name of alchemy and alchemists of the ancient days are being slandered because it's becoming a marketing term. That's all it is, and that's what pisses me off. And I can't stand that. Like I said, I don't label myself as anything. I don't even label myself as an alchemist anymore. I have no label, but I do practice it, and it pisses me off when these pseudo spiritualists just claim all this bullshit when in reality they don't know jack shit about anything. They read a couple of books, they read a couple of history things on it, and they think they know about it. They think they're masters. They read a book on Thoth or Toth, whatever, and they think they know everything. But they don't practice it. They don't do it. They don't go out there. They don't freaking slice their goddamn hands and bleed out and distill it. They don't freaking ejaculate into vessels and keep it in high temperatures, whatever, over and over again to purify it, distill it, break it down, transmute it. You won't find these people doing that. Trust me. It requires a true, dedicated individual. And like I said, I delve into these things, so I know how it is. Like I said, I make many mistakes myself. I am not the all-knowledgeable sorcerer or anything, but I know what I've done, I've seen the results, and I am here to share it.